just keep grabbing their seeds, and then that slows down the process.
No, it's not their seeds. It's the seed from a plant
It's
that
their
they
seed.
ate. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Fun with G and Me. That's G. I'm me, and this is his YouTube channel.
I'm Snake. He's Razor. Today we're gonna be reacting to foods only the rich can afford. Before we get into it, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Let's get into the video.
Tired of eating the same old food? Fancy
Maybe
a
a
taste
little.
of some of the finest ingredients money can buy?
Sushi.
A meal like this one would set you back more than just a few $1,000s.
I
Don't believe me?
Block of
Stay
gold.
tuned to find out about some foods that are only available
That
to
meat
the
one looked
rich.
very good. We saw that same one again.
Coffin Bay King oysters. Let's kick things off with
Why
one of the
did that
most
look like
prestigious
an
entrees
ear?
around. Oysters. Unless you happen to be
It does look
drowning in
like an ear,
cash,
actually.
these
I had
babies
no
probably
idea.
aren't part of your typical
I
Friday
I like
night dinner.
oysters.
There are many varieties
You
of
ever
this
tried them?
legendary delicacy.
I like those. You put a little bit of hot
Just one
sauce
can
and
be
a little
named
lemon
the
juice.
literal
There you go.
king of all oysters, the Coffin Bay King oyster. Grown exclusively on a farm located within a sheltered peninsula off the Australian west coast, these wallet-busting
Australia.
mollusks come with a hefty price tag of about $75 a pop. After being grown for 6
Still
years,
expensive,
rather
but
than
it's
the
not like
usual
in the
18
thousands
months,
or in that
each bad boy
expensive
can weigh
big.
up to 2 pounds,
It's not really
meaning they
that.
can have up to 10 times more
That
meat than their
is
run-of-the-mill cousins.
like a
Their
lot of
strong
money, but
aroma
it's
and
not in the
complex taste
thousands.
have earned
Like
them the title of the oyster steak of the ocean.
$75 would
But
be
if you
just
want to
For
shell out
one.
and see for yourself,
for
you'll
one.
have to head
And
down
it's
to
about
Australia's
that big.
peninsula.
It's not
Almost
big.
caviar. Oysters
Wow.
are a great appetizer, but if you want to get real swanky, why not throw in some caviar? Behold
Fish
the
eggs.
almighty Almas caviar,
I've heard about
which
these.
will set you back a cool
Caviar fish eggs.
$25,000 for a
I've seen this in
2.2
another
pound
video
tin.
before.
Of course, the tin is made of metal, which has been bathed in 24 karat gold,
But
so
it
it's
didn't
worth
look
every
like
penny,
that.
right? Caviar is usually made from the eggs of the savruga, osetra, and beluga species of sturgeonfish. This white caviar comes
this would be
exclusively
like,
from the albino
"Where are my
beluga
eggs? Where are
sturgeon,
my
which lives in the
children?"
Caspian Sea.
When
Because their
the
albinism is
eggs
caused
come
by a
chicken.
genetic disorder, albino belugas are extremely rare nowadays. That doesn't stop the filthy rich from dashing their chances of survival even more by eating their eggs anyway. The pearl-like eggs are extracted from the specimens over 100 years old and are said to boast an
100?
This
intense,
is how they
nutty,
get them.
creamy taste best enjoyed on toast or over ice with vodka to finish. Almas caviar can only be purchased from one of the few select caviar house and Prunier stores in London. Did I mention it's commonly eaten with a pearl spoon? Bird's nest soup. Have you ever felt compelled to climb a tree and chow down on an entire bird's nest?
No.
Or better yet, take it home and turn it into
That's
soup? Believe it or
have you
not,
ever
bird's
tried that
nest
in your
soup is a
childhood?
major delicacy in China, costing
Oh.
anywhere between
Have you ever tried that in your
$2,500 to
childhood?
No.
$10,000 per
What?
kilogram.
No,
These
You
are
know how
many
broke we were
bird's
growing
nests.
up? We didn't even
Nest
have
of
electricity.
swallows or swiftlets, which are made from
There were
100% saliva.
And you
That's
just
right.
have to
These
climb a
birds
tree
make
and
their
eat some
babies'
birds.
homes out of their own solidified spit. And
Should
some
say we
culinary
lived on ramen
connoisseurs
noodles.
can't get enough of the stuff. When they're boiled in water, the delicate nests dissolve into a gelatinous goop, which is supposedly perfect for soups. Yummy. The asking price of
I wonder
about
what that
$100
tastes
per
like.
bowl can be attributed to how hard the nests are to get a hold of in the first place. Climbers must scale the dark and dizzying heights of the Madai Caves in Malaysia to
So you
scout for
made a
nests
soup
that are ready
out
for
of
the
their
picking.
bed.
Ideally after one batch
Okay.
of eggs is hatched, but
Ugh.
before a second. After that, each tiny feather must be individually removed by hand. AM Samani Black Chicken. Chicken
By
isn't the most
hand?
unique menu item,
Oh,
but have you
by
ever seen one
hand.
like this before? AM Samani chicken, which hails from Indonesia, isn't just coated in jet black feathers. It's totally black on the inside too. This Lamborghini poultry grows at a slower
it
rate
is
and
black.
supposedly tastes slightly better than your everyday kind. But Somalis aren't actually eaten for their flavor. The reason for its elusiveness and desirability is that the bird can be traced back to Japanese folklore of the century, where it was considered a mystical food of the elite. Its charcoal-colored blood is also rumored to bring power and wealth on those who consume it,
Maybe you should
making
remove
it a
that.
sought-after good luck charm in certain cultures. Samanis are hard to come by in the U.S., so the asking price can be up to $2,000 for a full-grown bird and $200 for a single newborn chick. Kobe beef. Steak
This I
makes a
know.
mean main course, but if you want a
I would
truly
definitely
premium
wanna eat this.
experience, there's
It's
one
delicious.
kind that'll
Those
do
are
the job.
ones.
Kobe beef.
These are ones
These
I'm
illustrious
not
cuts of
so
meat are
sure
procured
about
from the
that.
Tajima-gu
But this
breed of
one, yeah,
Japanese
it
Wagyu
looks
cattle,
good.
which are raised in the
This is
Kobe region.
imagine like a
Animals are
steak that
so
just
well
melts
esteemed
in
that
your
they
mouth.
live like kings. Their
This one
massage daily, play
this food
classical music,
looks
and even
like
fed beer to
something
induce
I
their appetite.
like to
Kobe
eat,
beef is renowned
like
for its
that.
superior flavor,
But their
tenderness,
ones,
and high amount
I'm
of
not so
intermediate
sure.
fat, which
Yeah.
contributes to its melt-in-the-mouth qualities. All Wagyu beef is rated on a marbling
See,
scale of
that's the
1 to
good one.
12 based
That's
on this
the good one.
distribution of fat, and Kobe beef only qualifies if
See
it
all that
scores
white?
between
That's the
10 to
fat.
12.
That's what makes
The
it so
luxury beef
just
market
extra
has even been
delicious.
tainted by
Delicious.
controversy after
That was a
numerous
whole
establishments
square.
tried to pass off
So
regular
cute.
Wagyu beef as Kobe.
This thing
With
was
Kobe
square.
fraud rampant in the U.S.,
Squares
all
would be like
cuts must now be
flat.
assigned a
Well,
10-digit ID
cube
number
would
so
have
that it can be traced back to
bears,
the cow it came
like
from.
1000
Restaurateurs
block.
must also carry a license of authenticity that can be shown on demand. So if you're a beef aficionado, it's worth checking before shelling out up to $300 for a single pound of meat. Blonde Aquitaine steak. For those rich enough to take a been there, done that approach to Kobe beef, perhaps Blonde Aquitaine steak is more your forte. This rare beef is considered the most expensive steak in the world, and you can expect to pay about $3,200 for just one cut. The meat comes from prized free-range Blonde Aquitaine cattle and is produced by Parisian butcher
That is
Alexandre
big.
Polmard on his
Yeah,
family
that
farm
is
in northeastern
huge.
France. The extortionate price tag is thanks to the technique Polmard
Okay, that
developed
one
in
was
the
a
1990s to treat the meat. The
scary
cattle are
picture when
hand
he
reared
had
and
the
free to
knife
roam
and
the
he's like
forests and
staring.
grasslands of the French countryside, and only
Terrifying.
4 are killed weekly. Each cow is then slaughtered humanely to make the process as stress-free as possible and to keep acidity levels at a minimum. The meat is then stored in a room and pumped with a constant stream of air at speeds of almost 75 miles per hour and temperatures of negative 45 degrees Fahrenheit, where it remains in this state of forced hibernation for 15 years. Restaurants are entrusted
No,
with
we're
the
not gonna
beef,
buy
and
this.
Polmard pays each establishment a
I have
personal
no.
visit
It's just
before they're even allowed to
15
serve
years
it.
to make basically
La
make it
Bonate
age it enough to where
potatoes.
it
The
gets that
potato is
flavor.
one of the most humble foods around.
Yeah.
And not when it comes to the sought-after La Bonate variety, aka the world's most expensive potato. These spuds
Have
are
you ever
so
tried
well
this
regarded
No.
that they're even known as the
I'm an Irishman,
caviar of
buddy.
the
We
potato
like our
world.
potatoes basic.
Why, you ask? Firstly, they're almost exclusively grown on the tiny island of Noirmoutier off the coast of western France, and only about 20 tons are produced yearly.
Wow.
Preparing them for sale is also an arduous process because they're too
That means
delicate to be machine harvested, so each potato must be carefully hand-picked instead. With all the added effort it takes to get a hold of them, you might be wondering why La Bonate potatoes are worth eating to begin with. Fans of the souped-up spuds say the sea air and sea water, which acts as a fertilizer for the soil, gives the potatoes a hint of sea salt and even a suggestion
look
of
that
lemon.
up.
If you fancy La Bonates for tea, you should probably know that they sell for about $300 per pound. White truffles. If there's one thing
These
capable
I
of
have tried, and
elevating
they
a
are
dish
very
to new
expensive. I
layers of
tried this in
prestige,
Paris.
it's truffles. These fragrant fungi are some of the world's rarest delicacies, and even the Romans couldn't get enough, attributing them with therapeutic and aphrodisiac properties.
What they taste
White
like.
truffles, or the diamond of the kitchen, are by far the best. The
I
numbly white mushrooms can only be harvested between October through
want to
December
say
in the
earthy, but
forests of Piedmont and northern Italy, where they grow inches below the earth with the roots of hardwood
it
trees,
tastes
which means
like
finding
a
them isn't
mushroom, but
easy.
not like a mushroom.
Specially
It's
trained dogs
weird.
or
I can't
pigs,
explain it.
known as truffle coutures, must scour the forest floor in search of hidden gems below the earth.
It's a combination
Scientists have
of
tried and
flavors.
failed to domesticate white truffles,
So
meaning
like
you also won't be
salty.
stumbling upon any in
No,
your
no, you have
local
to add salt.
supermarket anytime soon. These
It's
factors
salty.
all contribute to the fervor
It's not
surrounding
very
truffles
salty at
and the
all.
value their complex flavor can bring to risotto, pasta, and even foie gras. Just 1 pound of white truffles costs around $2,000.
Oh
And
my
in
god.
2009, a record-breaking single 1.6-pound specimen was even auctioned for an eye-watering $150,000. Kopi Luwak coffee. Many people enjoy an after-dinner
Is
beverage,
this the
and
poop
if you're
coffee?
entertaining guests with particularly deep pockets, perhaps
No,
only
seriously.
Kopi Luwak
Tell
coffee will
tell me,
suffice.
everybody.
Legend
Is
has
it
it this highly valued
If
coffee was
if
first
you say
discovered in
yes,
Indonesia
then
under
hit the
Dutch
like
colonial
button.
rule.
If
Native
you say
farmers and
no, then
plantation
hit the
workers were
subscribe
forbidden from harvesting
button.
coffee for their own use and were left to scrounge around for it. That's when
I
they
hope
made an
there's more
unusual
no's,
discovery.
because I would
Civet
not
cats
want
would
that
eat
to
coffee
be.
cherries and poop out the seeds, or coffee beans, without digesting them. After brewing coffee from the discarded beans, they realized it tasted great too, mostly because the civets picked only the ripest cherries. The tradition continued, and nowadays vendors of authentic Kopi Luwak coffee can command anywhere between $250 to $1,200 per kilogram. There are some controversies surrounding the unconventional beverage, though. Primarily, civet cats are nocturnal and don't have big appetites, which means more than 80% of Kopi Luwak coffee sold in the U.S. has never actually passed through one. Attempts to industrialize the process also means many civet cats are caged and force-fed the berries round the clock, which
That's
results in
sad,
crappy
because-
coffee
That's
made
pretty
by very crappy people. Densuki Black Watermelon. After a meal as rich as the one I've just
You
laid
like
out,
this one?
a fresh
No.
fruit salad is about as much dessert as you could manage. This won't be any old fruit, though. Duh. First up, the Densuki Black Watermelon. These rare melons are exclusively grown on the northern island
They're
of
black.
Hokkaido in Japan in
I would
annual
think
quantities of about
I would
2,000
think
units.
they're
Besides
they're
their
just
intriguingly dark
ginormous
outer appearance,
black
they're said to have crisper
beans.
flesh,
Yeah.
more juice,
But they're
and
watermelons.
enhanced sweetness compared to their overseas relatives.
thought the same
There's a
thing.
lucrative market for decorative fruit in Japan. Depending on the size, they usually go for upwards of $250. But in
Oh my
2008,
god.
one fine specimen even sold for $6,100. Yubari King melon.
Well,
Even the Densuki is a bargain compared to Japan's most highly priced melon, the Yubari King, which is basically a cross between two cantaloupes. This esteemed fruit is also exclusively grown on Hokkaido Island and is a major status symbol for anyone with enough spare dough to add one to their collection. In spring 2016, supermarket owner Takamura Konishi hit the headlines after he pocketed a pair of Yubari Kings for the eye-popping price of $27,240. Japan's luxury fruit market isn't just exclusive to melons, and in 2019,
Just
Takamaro
remember,
Konishi raised
only the
eyebrows
rich
again
can
after
buy
paying
these.
yeah. Or
$11,318 for a
foolishly
bunch of ruby
spending
Roman
everyday
grapes,
people.
which worked out at around $370 per grape.
Damn.
This rare
Per
variety is
grape?
noted for its
Wait,
juiciness,
just
high
one
sugar
grape is
content,
that
and low
amount.
acidity. Oh, did I mention
What?
they're about the size of ping pong balls thanks to years of selective breeding? When they first hit
Excuse
the market
me.
in 2008, 700
Excuse
named
me.
Ruby Roman bunches sold for around $910, and their
You
prices
want
have only
to
skyrocketed since.
for grape?
Donkey cheese.
Donkey
A cheese
cheese.
course is the perfect way to complete a meal, but for a banquet like this one, plain old cheddar just won't cut it. Believe it or not, there's such a thing as donkey cheese, otherwise known as pule, and it'll cost you a pretty penny.
Ooh.
This bizarre creation is only produced by farmer Slavadan Simic on his rural farm in Serbia with the help of some 300 donkeys from the
That's
Zasavika
pale.
Nature Reserve. It's esteemed for its supposed healthy benefits with claims that it's high in protein, calcium, and omega-3 fatty acids. Getting milk from the donkeys isn't easy because only about 20 animals produce it at one time, and it takes several
Milking
gallons of
donkeys.
milk
I
to make
never
1 pound of
knew
cheese.
donkeys
This is
can
because their
produce
milk doesn't
milk.
contain enough
That's
casein,
just
a
cows.
characteristic that
Well, I
thickens it
knew.
into curd, to make the cheese
If
the
you
traditional
guys
way.
knew
Thankfully,
that donkeys
Simicans a secret
our
method to
animals
make
can
the
produce
cheese,
milk,
but it comes at a
hit the
price.
subscribe
Each
and
kilo
like
sells for
button.
about
Let us know.
$1,110.
And
That's a lot
the
to
ones
pay for
that
rural
do,
ass cheese, don't you
send
think?
send
Which of these
a
premium
comment
ingredients would you most like to
below.
try?
Yeah.
That was very interesting.
That was extremely interesting. I've only gotten the chance in my lifetime to taste a couple of those things.
Those looked like I didn't want to eat them, especially the first one.
Yeah.
That one looked like ears. Then a lot of animals just keep going extinct. Basically, that's why, because of us. We just keep grabbing their seeds, and then that slows down the process.
No, it's not their seeds. It's the seed from a plant
It's
that
their
they
seed.
ate. Oh my god, this boy.
If you agree with what I said, hit the subscribe button. If you agree with what my dad said, which he's wrong, hit the like button. Send a comment down below.
Tell us what you think.
Put in 2 for my opinion. Put in 1 for his opinion. And everybody knows I will be right. Everybody knows my dad will get everything wrong, and he is absolutely terrible at these questions.
Well, hey, make sure you let us know what you'd like us to react to next time, okay? Thank you.
And the 2, because I'm smarter.
There you go. All right, close it out.
Well, I hope you like today's adventure. Make sure to follow us for our other videos. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. We'll see you in the next video / adventure.